So, team, for tonight's hot seat, we have Daniel Maloney, and Daniel's going to come on and share a little bit about his experience so far in the program, what has been working well for him, some of the things he had to overcome, the struggles, all part and parcel of the journey. Of course, he's been through quite a long fat loss phase, which has went incredibly well from, and now we're transitioning over into a gaining phase, a reverse dieting phase, where we're focusing on recomping the body, building some muscle, continuing to drop body fat, of course. And yeah, Daniel has done incredible. He's a busy business owner as well. He's juggling a lot of things, and safe to say he has really prioritized his health and his fitness over the past couple of months. So yeah, really glad to have him on. And look, without further ado, I'm going to hand over to you, Daniel. Just give us a bit of an intro about yourself, who you are, what you like to do, and just a bit about your hobbies and stuff like that as well.
Thanks, Caleb. So, hi everyone, I'm Daniel. I'm 26 years old. Like Caleb said, I'm a business owner, main operator at Dean Detailing, which is my own business, automotive detailing, if you've ever heard of it. But I'm mad into cars, motorbikes, stuff like that. I've always kind of been kind of drawn to that motor side of things, engineering, all that kind of stuff. But sorry.
Okay.
So yeah, so hobbies and stuff. Motocross would be kind of my main hobby sport. I got into that kind of my early teen years. Just kind of hooked instantly when I did find it, and was competing all over Ireland and stuff like that with it. And that kind of kickstarted my fitness journey back then. So yeah, other hobbies into just car shows, stuff like that. Like I said, big into my cars and have to kind of show off my own work and branding and stuff like car shows. So yeah, that's kind of pretty much everything.
Brilliant. And just, I suppose, explain a bit about what your business is, Daniel, if you don't mind, just what it is that you do.
Yeah, so it's automotive detailing. So kind of automotive detailing is kind of a niche kind of market, basically where we kind of deep clean, polish, and protect every surface of a vehicle. Or my main specializing in paint protection film, which would be the kind of highest level of protection you can get for paint work, against stone chips and stuff. Also ceramic coatings and paint corrections. Paint correction is kind of a procedure of getting rid of scratches and sores and just getting that kind of best finish on the car or motorbike or whatever it may be. We've done everything kind of from cars, bikes, boats, you name it. I think the only thing I haven't done yet is a plane, to be honest with you. Yeah.
And it's pretty hands-on, right? It's pretty physical work.
Oh yeah, it is, yeah. And like I said before, I came on here towards the end of last year. I was struggling massively with mobility and flexibility when it came to the job, because I'm constantly, I wouldn't say sitting down, but like say on a wheelie stool, or the car's up in the lift, or I'm standing. It's not kind of sitting at a desk all day. Like I'm always moving and always in most of the time in work boots and stuff as well, like which is heavy enough to drag around all day.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you, and obviously that'll take me into the problems and the struggles that you had. So tell us a little bit about what you were doing before you joined Progressive Fitness. What was it you were struggling with?
Yeah, I suppose kind of going a bit further back, I suppose childhood, I was always kind of had weight issues. Like your typical kind of Irish mammy there, where if you weren't finishing what was on the plate or something wrong with you, you were sick. Like, but so all through kind of early years, I was kind of struggling with weight and stuff, and tried sports, soccer, hurling, all that kind of stuff, but just never couldn't really grasp it. I enjoyed soccer all right for a few years, but then after kind of the youth, it kind of just went away here. So never really kind of went further with that, we'll say, but was still kind of struggling with weight and stuff. So it wasn't until I was around 10 that I got into motorbikes and stuff like that, and that kind of started out as a small hobby that we were just kind of going up on like forestry paths and trails and stuff like that. And then a few of us then decided to go join a club in Cork and go racing motocross and grass tracks full time with them. So my first year then I got third place overall, and that was just from pure ability where I was fast and well able to drive, but I was struggling on the fitness and falling behind the leading lads, you know. So that kind of kick-started my fitness journey properly. I then used, like, say, a transition year after that initial year racing to get the fitness side of things going, because I knew if I could get that, I'd be up there again. Like, so yeah, no, I just joined the local gym in TY and made use of kind of free time and stuff, and I went there kind of for a year solid, maybe 2-3 nights a week, with very little knowledge and stuff. And I lost 4 stone on my own, which was great at the time, but I had no knowledge. I was like doing loads of cardio, about an hour worth of cardio every night, and then just jumping on a few of the weight machines around the place. But just, yeah, had no clue. I was maybe focusing on arms more than legs, will say, and stuff like that. But so yeah, no, I went back then, we'll say, competing that year when I lost all the weight, and I actually won the class from just being that bit fitter. Everyone kind of came together and stuff. But yeah, I would say after that, then I just kind of done my own thing in the gym and stuff, and eventually I kind of hit a wall, and I started working with a local PT here, and went great. I got good results with him and ever, but it was just it was completely different approach to this, where it was just more like army boot camp. There was no enjoyment to it. Like I said to you, we done a cutting phase towards the end of my time with him, which was 21 days, and I was on 1,500 calories a day. Mental, like, looking back at it now, it was mental. Now I got the results and I was skin and bone after it and stuff, but yeah, it kind of ruined it for me. I just stopped enjoying it then after that, and I said to him after a cutting phase, I'm going to take a couple of weeks off now just to relax. So I said that was a lot, and I never ended up going back to him much after that, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of then college and stuff like that. I was kind of just doing my own thing. So yeah, and myself and Caleb know each other from college as well, which is gas.
You do.
How things go. So yeah, suppose after that, then I went working elsewhere in the engineering industry, and I was in a job that was going grand or whatever, and about after 2 years of it, I just kind of started to lose the love for it. Just dealing with a kind of a toxic workplace, toxic environment. And then obviously I had the detailing was a side thing for me through college, and progressed into a business and stuff. And then I had it in my head with about a year that I wanted to go full time. And then people were calling me out and just saying basically, don't do it, like, because you're giving up a guaranteed wage and stuff. And my father was like, said like, no, not a hope, like, wait and see, like, he said, it'll ruin your chances of getting mortgages and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so then I was like kind of looking for a sign. I was getting worse with, we'll say, my own mental and physical health. The gym was non-existent anymore because I was just burning myself out, doing the 2 jobs basically for, I'd say, a solid year. And I just kept saying to myself and ourselves that I'm looking for a sign to change. And then unfortunately got the worst sign when my father actually kind of suddenly passed. And that was a big wake-up call for me. It was just kind of a thing, is like, around the time, like, why am I killing myself there trying to do a job for people that don't appreciate it and stuff? And then that's kind of when I decided to go full time and stuff. But it was a hard time on the whole family and stuff. And I suppose I kind of, because I was the oldest boy, I kind of had to step up, and kind of couldn't grieve, I think, as such. So we'll say for about a year after that, I was just kind of struggling massively, both physically and mentally. There was no gym anymore. It was a case of work, eat, sleep, fucking repeat, just binge watching Netflix and comfort food there for a good solid year. And even me just going full time in the business, then, like, I eventually actually just burnt out from just everything just kind of hit me once, like. And then I kind of left it off for another year before I done anything about it. It wasn't until Christmas, say, last year, that I realized how bad I was actually at forgetting. I was like, because I physically couldn't even move, and my flexibility was gone, we'll say, for work even, like, just wicked bad. And I was panting, like, just from small little walks and stuff like that, and just all the wrong food and stuff. And I was like, you got to Christmas, and then when people point out how bad you're gone, that really kind of hit home as well. So yeah, that was kind of, yeah, I was just in a bad place physically and mentally, and that's when I knew I needed to change, and I got in contact with you.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing all that with me, man. And
No better.
I know it's not an easy thing to do, and it's, I suppose, good to see in a way like how different things can lead to different scenarios, right? How going from maybe the toxic environment and work then to wanting to try something you really wanted to, and maybe we're told not to by so many people, which scares you a little bit off that, and then all these things can have negative effects on you, of course, and then of course your old man passing away is going to have a huge impact on you, and all these things accumulating up and then can lead to you maybe like you said, just not doing nothing but work, sleep, eat, Netflix, binge eating, things like that. You can see how these things happen, right? But you understood something needed to change, which is obviously why we're here now. And it's amazing to see how that has now flipped on its head and where you are now at this stage, and you don't mind me asking, what impact was this having on you all that time, Daniel? What areas of your life was it impacting on most?
It was kind of everything, to be honest. Like mentally, I wasn't the person I was that I used to be, would say. Like I had been told, oh, you need to go see a counselor and all this kind of stuff, and I didn't want to. I didn't feel the need to. But yeah, no, it was just kind of affecting like family relationships, kind of stuff like that. And obviously, then my own mental and physical health was really down. It was the worst it ever was. Yeah, like it was just. Yeah, like even if you look at my first picture that we took there for this, like, and you see my face in that, like that was actually a retake, and you'll see how miserable my face was in that, because I was like, Jesus Christ, when I seen the first photos, I was like, how am I that bad? That wasn't even put on, like that was just how I felt like myself. I didn't recognize myself anymore.
Yeah, I hear you, man. So was it at that point when you did reach out, was that where you kind of felt at your lowest?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Okay, cool. So it was going on for quite some time. You wanted to solve this problem, right? And then eventually you took the plunge and you reached out, which leads us to where we are now, right? So tell us a little bit about what life is like now.
Yeah, like I said to you, I just feel like I've done a complete U-turn. I'm getting back to the old me, if not a better version, in all aspects, both physical and mental. And obviously my knowledge has grown massively on everything that I'm doing. Yeah, like just better kind of relationships and stuff with family and since, and kind of like there was there for a while there, I had to like cut out people from my life that were just not benefiting me and stuff, just to get in a better place and stuff. But yeah, like you know yourself, I feel like I've made a leap forward in business and stuff like that. Like I've ticked off a long-term goal of mine for the business and stuff, which was massive. And a massive investment too. Like if you can see the machine behind me here, like that's 12 grand alone. Like so, it's but just having that kind of drive to do that kind of thing, and has been unbelievable. Like and then everything else, from like even just going to the gym and just being confident walking in there, knowing what I need to do, knowing how to do things right, and like everything from even just going out in public, like that was a big thing for me before. Like before Christmas, I was hiding behind baggy clothes, and I hated how I looked. Going out in public, I kind of had that anxiety the whole time. I didn't want to go out for drinks or meal or anything, just in case anyone seen me or stuff. And now, like I've no bother going out. Like there's clothes fitting me that I had from 3 or 4 years ago. Like it's not that it's not that I don't throw away clothes or anything. It's just clothes that I got at the wrong time that didn't fit me and stuff, that got very little use. But yeah, no, I finally have that confidence to go out, and I'm not anxious anymore about going out either, like if I need to. And like I said there, when we were on the holiday there a few weeks ago, like it was nice to be able to be by the pool relaxing and have the top off and stuff. Like
100%, man. To have that confidence and not feel anxious, not covering up any longer, it takes a huge weight off your shoulders. A lot of stress removed from your body even by doing that.
Yeah.
What, I suppose, impact would you say this has had on your life? You know, what areas of your life has it impacted on the most, and what areas have improved the most?
Um, yeah, kind of going back to the same kind of points we'll say, like business has improved definitely. Like obviously bringing on the new service and stuff has brought in some more work and stuff, which I'm still getting the grips with at the moment. Like I said to you, I had a tough week this week with a new Jeep and stuff for that PPF. So, and like even just just that drive to do more with the business and expand, and just
Yeah,
being so much fitter in the work that I do. Like I'm not coming home absolutely wrecked, with like at the back of a 60-year-old and stuff like that,
yeah,
so much more mobility and flexibility and stuff. But yeah, like it's definitely better for my own relationship with herself, like, and stuff, just being that better version of myself, and not dragging her down with me like I felt I'd done the last year or two. It's like she was a saint to stick by me, that kind of.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's good, man. You know, and you're passing on those positive vibes, you know, those good energy that other people want to be around, and that's what it's about, right? And
yeah,
she's feeding off that, you're feeding off each other, and you know, um, obviously credit where credit is due to her. She stuck by you through the toughest times, and now, you know, you're in probably the best physical shape of your life, right? And only improving on it from here, of course.
yeah.
Tell me, would you say, do you think it was worth the time and effort that you've invested so far?
Yeah, every minute of it, yeah, it really was. Because like I said, I'd hate to imagine where I'd be now if I didn't do something about it.
Yeah,
Like I'd say I was kind of getting to that stage there where there would have been big health problems. Like I'd say if I kept going and kept eating the way I was and stuff, and God only knows that is. But yeah, 100% worth every bit of effort. Like, and like I said, I'm getting back to the old me. And stuff. So yeah, 100% worth everything. Like, everything from just the training side of it, the knowledge gained from it, and obviously enjoying every minute of it because it is an enjoyable program.
brilliant, man. Brilliant. Love that. And appreciate the kind words as well. Now, let's dig into some of the key principles, right, that you've implemented since you've started, the hacks, the tips, the tricks that you may have that have worked quite well for you in a couple of different areas. So, firstly, we touch on nutrition, right? Let's share 2 to 3 key principles that have worked for you in nutrition since you've started the program.
Yeah, yeah. So one area is definitely meal prep. Like not only is it, not only is it like better for the structure for the week, but it's also a massive time saver. Or even like one of my favorites is do the overnight oats, the protein oats. Like we probably make them for 3 or 4 mornings of the week, and they're just there in the fridge ready to go. So you can not only like have a quick breakfast that you're not, and you can also stay in bed that bit extra longer and get your 8 hours and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and even then when it comes to like lunches and dinner, you can make that bit extra in the dinner one evening and have it for lunch the next day as well. Like, so it's a time saver there. Again, but no, like we do kind of enjoy making stuff fresh, like the dinner fresh and stuff like that. But yeah, no, the meal prep is definitely a massive time saver and just benefit in other areas as well. Like,
Yeah. Brilliant. What's next?
so yeah, the second one would be like make use of all the cookbooks, the recipes available, because it's so nice to have variety, and variety is key. You don't want to be having the same thing over and over, because it will. It's like those old kind of school diets where you're on rice, chicken, yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, variety is key, and like just making use of the cookbooks are brilliant. Like the fake way pizza is unbelievable. I generally would not go back to normal pizza, I'd say, unless it was a good Italian one now or something. But like they really make it enjoyable, and they're easy to make as well. Everything's
Yeah.
very kind of easy to make, and it's fast. It's not surely you're not slaving over for 2 or 3 hours of the evening, like,
Yeah.
which is great. Obviously, it's another time saver, then they can focus on other areas.
Super, man. Love that. Anything else?
Yeah, so the third one then for me anyway is just water. Water is the game changer. Like, making sure that you get in the proper intake every day I think is vital anyway. Especially I see myself in the cutting phase. Like it does fill you up between meals if you keep on top of it. Like you're not starving. And even I'd say towards the end of our towards the end of the cut, like I really pushed myself those last 2 weeks, and I nearly cut out all the snacks as well. Like I was literally just having 3 square meals, but I was filling up with water and keeping it high, and that was actually keeping me full as well. Like, but so
Yeah.
just anyone that is in the cutting phase, or even if you're in the other phase, just make sure you keep it up and stuff, because it really does help. Just don't be too far from the toilet, like.
That's
Yeah.
it. And yeah, you will probably go a bit more frequently when you are hitting
Yeah.
the carrots or above, but you're flushing out the system, you're keeping everything hydrated. We need water in our systems. I think, I can't remember the exact figure, but our bodies are made up, I'm pretty sure, of like 68% water. Our body,
Yeah.
the human body itself, 68% water, which is mad, really, when you think about it. So for everything to function properly, for you to be able to think cognitively, for your organs to function correctly, we need water. That's why I always say first thing in the morning. It's literally one of the first things you should be doing. Go to the bathroom, whatever it is, then get some water into you. Throughout the day, keeping a bottle of water nearby and just sip on it. You know what I mean? And you'll be surprised you'll easily consume. Like I consume probably 4 liters of water a day, give or take. Depends. Maybe if I'm training a little bit more, I'll have a little bit more even, but it'll be in around that mark, and it is vital. So I'm really glad you shared that one. The rest of the books, of course, so many useful ones that are inside of it, incredible recipes, and that's why they're there, for the variety, for the flexibility. You don't have to stick to the same meals day in, day out. It's nice to have that freedom and flexibility to swap things in and out as you please. And with the food files guide in the group, which is amazing as well, you're going to have so many different options to choose from that, and the rest of the books. And the meal prep, I'm much the same as you, like you said, saying like having fresh meals is really nice, especially for dinner. You can always cook in bulk and then have it for lunch for the next day or 2 days. I'll always cook a couple of chicken breasts at a time, and you can literally make so many different things with that, whether that's egg fried rice, chicken satay, whatever it may be, healthy versions, of course, and just different types of stir fries. So many flexible and variety meals with simple ingredients, right? But we can take all these things and make them as tasty as we want by, prepping them maybe for a couple of days ahead. And there you go, it's in the fridge, ready to go. So, no, solid shares there, man. Let's move on to mindset now. Let's share some key principles around mindset.
Yeah. So the first one kind of for me, just kind of comes from being sick of the way that I was and just being down in the dumps and being at that low point. But key principle for me, number one, is just give it your all, but just enjoy the process as well, because it genuinely flies by when you're putting in the effort. The weeks fly by, they really do. I couldn't believe how fast they actually did go when we got to the end of the cutting phase. I was, Jesus, we done already, like. But no, because they do, and when you get the kind of structure and everything in place, get your sessions in, get your weeks planned out and stuff, it really does fly by. But yeah, just give it your all when you're here, like, and we're investing the time and money, so it's worth kind of it's worth investing the time and giving it your all.
Yeah, love that, man. Let's hear the next one.
Yeah, so the next one I have is just be careful with who you surround yourself with. Like I said earlier, I kind of had to stop spending time with negative people, people who aren't on the same level as us. Like, I think everyone here is on the same level. We all want to level up our lives and better our lives in every way we can. But yeah, like I said, you don't want to be around people who just want to drink all weekend. There's lots of people that can't understand why you're doing this, why you're putting in the effort. So it is better to just kind of cut off that, and even social media and stuff. That's another big one, I think, nowadays. Again, just not following people who people who would say are showing the grass is green or all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But just keep focusing and water your own grasses, they say.
Yeah, 100%, man. I love that. That analogy is, they say, water your own grass, because we can often get different misconceptions from looking at other people's lives on social media, wishing, I wish it was like that. But if you were really in their shoes, you probably wouldn't really like it, to be honest. You're only seeing the best version or whatever. So no one really puts up the shit that's happening to them, right? So yeah, it's good to not get too caught up in the social media machine. Don't get me wrong, it is a very useful thing there. It can be very educational at times, but it can, if you're looking at the wrong and if you're following the wrong kind of people, then it can be detrimental to your mental health. So again, I love that shares an important one, and that ties into the other one you mentioned about your environment, because social media and your own environment these days, there's not a whole lot of the difference, right? You probably spend as much time on social media as you do with your friends and family and other people, and you need to be careful with who you're surrounding yourself with, for sure, because it's definitely true that in the saying that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so like making sure you're surrounding yourself with the right kind of people. Like in this group, as you said, everyone's on the same journey here. We're all trying to become the best versions of ourselves, and some people, believe it or not, will not, like, I suppose it's because they want to do it themselves and they don't have the discipline or the courage to do it, and then they try and bring you down to their level, to where they're at, saying, "Oh, just why are you doing that? You don't. Why are you working so hard on yourself and all this?" Like, and
Yeah.
them, it seems hard, but to you it's enjoyable, right? You're liking these improvements, you're liking the changes mentally, physically, emotionally. But to them, it seems like such a mountain to climb, and they just don't want to make that effort. They want to keep you down with them. So it is so, so important. I'm really glad you shared that one, man. That's huge. Aideen just says here as well, you can 100% relate to that one. People not understanding why you do what you do. Yeah, I used to get it a lot more at the beginning, when, like, now people just accept, you know what I mean? Because obviously it's my job as well. But when I first started getting into training, like, people would be wondering, like, why do you do this so much, or why do you give it so much attention? Why do you eat? Why are you always like looking after the stuff you eat and all? And I was like, it makes me feel good, right? I operate better. I'm a better person. My energy is better. Confidence is better. Why wouldn't you want that? I think they're crazy. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
that's kind of the way the world is, unfortunately. But eventually those people will start asking you for advice, and that's what will happen. Over time, you go through these phases. They're asking you, like, why are you doing this? And then it turns into, how are you doing this? Tell me, please. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I've had that as well. Like now that we're over the cutting phase of, like, Jesus, people coming up like, Jesus, some job, lad, like, how'd you do that and all that kind of stuff, like, and
Yeah.
I think you've got a few customers out of it anyway, so that's a good thing.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Lifestyle, right? Let's move on to that, man. So, give us a few key principles around lifestyle.
Yeah, so I suppose getting out in the fresh air is big. Like, one people, like, I like walking, I like hiking and stuff. So it's so nice to get out, get away from everything. Just get up. Like, we do a lot of hiking up the Knockmealdown Mountains here, and like the Cumras and stuff like that. And it's so nice to get out in proper fresh air and just be away from things and stuff. Like, it's so good for the mind and the body, and so it's a stress relief in a way. Like, but you're still getting your steps in, you're doing something useful as well at the same time, but like, it just has so many benefits, other than just a walk, like we'll say. But yeah, no, just taking that time out as well for yourself is brilliant. Like, I see it myself, like obviously being a business owner, yourself, you're carrying a lot of stress around, and like, the last thing I want to be doing is passing that on to herself as well, like, and stuff like that. So it's even nice just to get out even at lunchtime and just go for a quick walk. And just kind of get a few things just out of your head, we'll say, or just think about it in peace, like, and stuff. But yeah, no, fresh air and nature is great.
Totally. Love that. Love that.
Second one then, I suppose, like, getting into a routine, structure, building discipline to do this program will benefit you greatly here, but I think outside of that as well, physically and mentally, in your own life. It can also push you to do things that you thought you'd never do. Like, obviously me doing the PPF training and being the first to bring that to Ireland and stuff, was a long-term goal of mine, would say. And without everything that I built up from doing this, I wouldn't have done it. I definitely wouldn't have done it. Yeah. But yeah, no, like, the routine and the discipline never just can spill over to every other area of your life as well. It just makes things a bit more streamlined during the week as well, I think, having that routine.
Totally, man. Like, the nature one there, the discipline, getting outside your comfort zone, doing stuff you thought you'd never do, and always had like this big overarching goal that you thought is going to be so far down the line, and yet you accomplish it in a couple of months. It just shows when you do build up the structure, the routine, the confidence that comes with that, to go and push yourself to do these things is, it's amazing. And then, like you said, getting out in nature, getting out fresh air, like it's great getting your steps in right on a treadmill inside, but you can't beat getting out in fresh air, up a mountain, out the beach. Like for me, it's the beach because it's so close to me, right? And
Yeah.
but,
Boardwalk's good now there.
yeah, you can't beat the sea breeze, the fresh air. Like I usually will do it at least once per day down a walk down the beach, and really, really, really helps me as well. Like probably going up a hike up a forest will do the same for you. And I highly recommend people take that bit of advice and use it, even if it's just at the weekend, just getting out in nature. Like it's where we're probably really meant to be, right? Not cooped up inside all the time. We're really meant to be out in nature a lot more. So
Yeah.
putting a bit of time aside to do that will help a lot with your overall mental health, alleviating stress and everything else that goes with it. Was that the last one for lifestyle? Is there one more?
No, I have one more there. So the last one is just going to add the same. Just make use of all the podcast training, information, seminars, everything here, because they're so vital. Like I say to anyone who's coming on board now, to pick up on them, get on, catch up on everything as soon as you can, because even I was guilty of that myself at the start, where I was just kind of focusing on getting the training structure in, that I kind of dismissed it for a week or two. But once I started listening back to everything, like the amount I picked up was just unbelievable. Like, and so like stress management, that was a brilliant one. That seminar, just knowing how to track your calories, and we'll say just being prepared for like spontaneous nights out and stuff, and even going on the holidays there was just so much less stressful, because I knew what to do. I knew how to, like, we'll say, intermittent fast and all that kind of stuff, to not gain weight and not regress too much anyway, at least. And like the information here is just it's unbelievable. Like, because like I said, in previous things, you were just given a plan and go away and do it, and no reasoning behind it. But yeah, like I said, it was nice to go on the holiday and not be stressed about falling behind or anything, because I'm still getting in everything else, but just having that information just really helped.
Yeah, amazing, man. Yeah, it does 100% make a huge difference. Like when you do immerse yourself in the program, anyone that's come onto these hot seats usually have spent a bit of time, digging into the details of the program, what's there, the trainings, the podcast, the guest speakers that we have on. It all accumulates up this knowledge in your own mind that's like shortening the learning curve for you to go out and find this information elsewhere and, try and absorb it. It could take years, whereas, while you're in this program, make the very most of it, and you will learn so much in the space of how long you're here than it would take another person years and years to even learn about. So I absolutely love that you take the time to do that, Daniel, and you can see the effect it has on you in every single aspect. It literally has leveled up your mindset, your confidence, your own self-belief, your knowledge and training, nutrition, mindset, everything. Was there any training that you would recommend to anyone listening back to start with, or one that had the most impact on you that you would, I suppose, suggest they listen to?
Yeah, there was a good few, to be fair. Like, I think my highlights anyway was definitely the stress management one we done a couple months ago. What was his name again? Yeah. He was very good, very informative and stuff. How to enjoy your weekend and stuff is another good one. Because obviously, like, this is the great thing about this program, is you can have a life outside it. But we still have tactics, we still have the knowledge to how to prepare for that, and not throw in the towel again if we're sick the next morning, dying for the week. Like,
yeah,
100%.
No, I appreciate you sharing that, man. Solid goals, solid, I should say, principles around lifestyle. Let's dig into the training now. Last one, let's share some principles around that.
Yeah, so my kind of a quote I know is to get to the next level, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And like that kind of resonated with me over this whole process so far. And like, you're going to the gym, you're doing a session for X amount of time. So like, make the most of it while you're there. Push yourself, because you'll only feel better for it every time. every time you get that extra rep in or whatever, and yeah, you like obviously we get that release. What's the
Feel good endorphins.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, you get that like after every session, like, and that that not only helps that helps everyone else as well mentally as well when you're leaving. You know you've done a good job, but like every little bit counts as well. So just yeah, when you're dying and ready to throw in the towel, give it one more rep, and then yeah, you will feel better for it.
Yeah.
So the second one for me then as well, I think, especially coming into this reverse dieting phase, is the progressive overload. Just doing it with every possible rep you can, you know, just or every kind of possible set during the workout. So going for that one extra rep, like I said, when you're already in pain and getting it is it's massively rewarding. Obviously, it has its benefits then with muscle growth and stuff.
Yeah.
So the third one for me then, when it comes to just kind of recovery and stuff, like I love to go to the swimming pool, use the sauna and steam room, because you know it's not only a great way to get some exercise in with a few lengths in the pool, it's great to relax, unwind and de-stress from other areas of life. And like I said, I found it very good for recovery as well. Like it really helps the muscle there, getting into the jacuzzi and stuff like that. And even getting rid of a bit of sickness there at times, it's great for it too. But it's a great thing to do on your rest days or during the weekend or something. Get ready for it, gets you set up and ready for the week ahead then as well. When you're not dying going in one day doing legs and you're already dying from the last session, like
yeah, brilliant, man. Yeah, recovery, something that can be often overlooked, but it's just as important as the time spent in the gym. You know, rest days are just as important as training days. So that's why we still need to fuel ourselves correctly. We still need to make sure we're sleeping enough. We need to make sure we're mitigating any potential injuries that may occur, whether that's through stretching, foam rolling, whatever it may be. Some yoga, if you're into that kind of thing. We have yoga on the program as well that you can follow along, of course, through the sessions that we upload every week. So, you know, utilize the recovery that's there, like Daniel does as well. You might want to go to a sauna, steam room, swimming pool, loosen things out, recover, relax, unwind for the week, and then you're ready to tackle a new week again, okay? Other ones you mentioned, the progressive overload, of course. That's the whole premise behind building muscle. We need to make sure we are lifting a little bit more than we did previously. That's what progressive overload essentially is, right? Just getting a bit stronger, whether that's through an extra few reps, whether that's through an extra bit of weight, whether that's through even extra time under tension, right? So many different ways to do it, but you know, the premise is we need to be creating more stress on the muscle than we did previously in order for it to grow and develop. Same when and that will also have a big compounding effect on burning more body fat. So yeah, huge principle to share there. And also pushing to failure, of course, you know, like often we can, you know, underestimate what we can really do, and pushing out when our body tells us stop to get that extra rep or that extra 2 or 3 reps that you might have thought might not be there. You'll be surprised sometimes what's left in the tank when you push past that voice that comes into your mind and says, right, you've enough done here, time to drop it. Just push past it and see what happens. You'll often surprise yourself. So solid principles, man. Overall, really brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing all those with me, man. Between nutrition, mindset, lifestyle, and training, all absolutely solid principles. Now, final few questions for you, Daniel. Tell us what life would be like if you stopped after, I suppose, the initial 90 days of the program.
I suppose in fairness to you, I feel like I definitely have the knowledge and confidence going forward in myself if I did stop. But I think it's just even since we came into the reverse dieting phase, like the program has changed, all the exercises and stuff. So I would have stayed doing the same that I was doing the footing phase, which would have been no good to me. So it's great to have that continued guidance. And also then like, you know, yeah, I definitely have the confidence of not go backwards, but like it's having that accountability, it's having the check-ins, making sure that everyone's going right, and yeah, just having that someone there like yourself to just kind of keep the wheel turning and keep pushing me forward and stuff.
Yeah, brilliant, man. Yeah, accountability, man, is a huge driving force in getting someone to where they want to be. You know, being held accountable. I'm held accountable to my mentor in my business, you know, and it helps me keep things moving forward. And, you know, I'm accountable to the people like you guys who have to be giving you the right information to make sure everything is going right. Because again, at the end of the day, you guys are a reflection on me and the work that I do. So, I need to ensure everything is moving along the right direction. So in a sense, you also help keep me accountable. And it's such an important thing for you to have, to have someone keeping you accountable. It does make a huge difference to how much progress you can actually make. The next question I have for you is, like, what advice would you give to someone who was maybe in the same place, same position you were in before you started, right? Who might be struggling?
Yeah, I suppose going back to kind of the background there, or I shared about my father and stuff, like that was a shit time, and it doesn't get easy. It doesn't get any. It does get easier over time, but it doesn't get any easier in a sense. So, like I said, I'd just share that in case anyone was in a kind of similar boat, because I'm definitely not the only one out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if I was to go back and chat to myself before Christmas, like I would have done this obviously sooner. Because like I said, I've done a completely. So I've done a complete U-turn on life now at the moment, and I'm in a much better place. Like, and I'd say to myself to make use of all the information that bit sooner and stuff, and just the importance of even getting in like the steps and stuff like that. Just make sure you're hitting that target, because the steps will make a massive difference. Like I even look back at Cut and Face, and I know I've come so far with it and stuff, but it was like, what if I done a bit more? Like, but like I was doing the max I could, like always was, and I think there was only one bad check-in, and that was after holidays and a stressful week, like, but no, just kind of just give it your all, and that like things will get better.
Brilliant. And what advice would you give to someone who might be on the fence about joining a program like this?
I would say like it'd be the best decision you'd make, because like you're obviously asking for a reason, or you're stuck in a rush, and we all need guidance on things we don't know about. But yeah, I would say definitely join, because not only is it, not only is it a program where you get great results, but it's actually enjoyable, and you can enjoy yourself the weekends without going too far off track. You can still go out for meals or have a couple of drinks or whatever. But yeah, it's enjoyable, kind of sustainable lifestyle as well. And we get the knowledge from it that we can continue on and pass on for years to come, like the future family or whatever like that. And I feel like I'm in the best position I've been in my life, we'll say, in terms of that knowledge around food, and just being able to maintain this lifestyle now and just not regress and go back to where I was, because I'm not going back.
Yeah, brilliant, man. Brilliant. No doubt about it. What does the future look like for you, Daniel? What would make you so proud to achieve in the future even?
I suppose obviously I want to get myself like better physique and stuff like that. Obviously we're working through that. Like I obviously want to get back to that old version of myself mentally. I feel like I'm 90% there. But I feel like even now I'm going to be a better version because of this program. And that's not licking your arse now, but that's just the God honest truth. Like because it has changed my mentality and physical side of things massively. So yeah.
Amazing. I appreciate all the kind words as well, man. And at the end of the day, you're the one that has to put in the work, right? Everything will be laid out in front of you. You just need to be willing to implement the information, and you took the bull by the horns, as they say, and you've done exactly that, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to close by saying?
Just a massive thanks to you, obviously, for this program, because if it wasn't for this, like I said, I don't know where I'd be now, or what kind of physical state I'd be in. But it has made the whole thing enjoyable and got my life back on track massively. So no, just thanks for everyone, and thanks for being there if I ever had a question and stuff, like, and there's no bother, you get back to us as soon as you can, like, and stuff. But just kind of thanks to everyone here for dragging everyone else along and sharing information, and even other people's hot seats and stuff like that have been great to listen to. And like I said, I'm bad for making the live stuff, but I do listen back in my spare time or at work and stuff like that. But no, it's great. Like, obviously the different styles of training, and not just physical, we'll say, like mental as well, has been brilliant. The stress management, like I said, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's been brilliant. So yeah, like even just going back to the thing, what does the future look like you? Like I definitely plan on pushing forward with the business a bit more and expanding. And I wouldn't mind chancing even doing like a marathon or something at some stage as well if we get back to that stage. But so like
Yeah,
things again that I wouldn't have thought I've done last year. So
100%, man. No reason why we can't go and achieve that, right? You know, like you've shown what can be done already. You know, show what you can achieve in the space of 6 months. A marathon is well within your reach. You know what I mean? That's why you need to be thinking like that now. You know, you show what you're capable of, and you're definitely capable of even so much more. 100%. I appreciate all the kind words as well. Just some love in the chat you're getting here. Someone says thanks very much for sharing your story, Daniel. Eddie says great. Listen, Daniel, well done, very inspiring. And Ryan says thanks, Daniel. Yeah, like it is very inspiring, man. I love to see, you know, these success stories. Hopefully anyone listening here, you're aiming to get into these hot seats like Daniel has and can share a bit about your success. And it's always good to, you know, share a bit about your own experience because you're helping others as well. And it's a nice feeling, right? Helping other people. You get a sense of fulfillment from that as well. So you know, I really appreciate you coming on. Guys, thank you for joining and listening. Anyone that's listening back, I hope you are inspired by this and, you know, are going to implement some of the hacks, the strategies, the principles that Daniel has given you. And yeah, just keep driving on, keep working towards your goals. That's what it's all about. Keep trying to improve yourself. That's what we're all here for at the end of the day, you know, is to become the very best versions of ourselves. That's all it is. Daniel, thanks so much, man. Really appreciate you coming on, sharing everything and opening up so much and being honest about it. It's been amazing. And look, thanks again. And I will be chatting to you over the next couple of days. Okay, buddy?
Yeah, thanks. And thanks everyone for the kind words.
On the ball. Ryan, no worries, bro. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for joining. And we'll leave it there, guys. We'll leave it there.